show you very quickly how to do a simple RMarkdown document if you want. Now, what I have here is RStudio opened up, and we're going to keep our eye on this particular window right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, oh, I can't really show it to you, but it's way up at the top. There's a, the toolbar, there's something that says File. If I hit File and go down to New File, I get this list here. And what I head down to is to RMarkdown. And that's going to create an RMarkdown document. I give it a name, like September 8th, 2022. Sounds good. And it's going to go out, be rendered as an HTML document, which can be put straight in the web page. However, I'm going to show later how that can be turned into a PDF. I hit that. What it does is it generates this. This is YAML code at the top, which you don't need to know. You don't even touch it. It's going to put a header on the document. And down here, they give some example stuff, but what I'm going to do is just erase this and write things. So the easiest thing to do is just put text. So I sit there and can write text. If I space twice, I get a new paragraph, another paragraph. Below, I will run some calculations in an R chunk. This is, if I put single star around it, it'll be in italic. And if I put a double star, it'll make it bold. Okay. So when I'm done doing anything in this, I go up to the top here. Notice it says untitled. It doesn't have a title yet. This little ball of yarn is to knit it. So I go up there and I hit that. The first time I do it, it's going to want me to store it somewhere. September 8th, RMarkdown. Okay. Then I'll put it somewhere. How about with our class files right there? You know what? I'm going to RMarkdown 2. Put it in there. Save. So that file is basically where I'm going to put stuff having to do with this file. And this, it renders right here. By the way, at any time, I can take this, I can look at it, how it will look like in a web browser, HTML, by hitting Open in Browser. That's how it would look in a web page. And then, if I want PDFs, once I've done that, I go up to the toolbar on the top, I hit File, and I go down to Export as PDF. And it'll let me give it a name, September 8th, 2022.pdf. Yeah, let's put it in the RMarkdown 2 file. So no, didn't have a second one called RMarkdown 2. Oh no, that's just that it's in that file. So I'll just save it. There we go. So that's how you save a PDF. Really easy. But let's go back to our RMarkdown page. I'm going to go way back here. Here we are. Anytime I want, as I'm typing away, I can just knit and it'll recalculate everything. Other things that are nice, other than writing text and putting italic text and bold text, is you can make dotted lists. There's lots of things you can do. There's tons of things you can do in RMarkdown, but I'm doing a simple set. This is a list. I'll just hit return once, star and space. Another line. How about another line? Okay, hit that. Let's go see what that knits to. Okay, it looks kind of like that. For any of you that know tech, I don't know if any of you do, but if you do, you can actually embed mathematics. So if you put a mathematical equation in between dollar signs, it renders it as LaTeX. So I can say y equals 2 times x plus epsilon, a Greek letter. That's typical to have a backslash when you're describing things in LaTeX. But if you don't know LaTeX, just ignore it. They have things like integrals, things like that. So let's go knit. Oh, it shows you what it looks like in this little window. But I can knit that and see, make nice little equations if you want. And they can be put in a line. Let's see. In line if I want. So, but if you want, the easiest thing to do is just write text saying what you're going to do. Now, you can also put our code that actually runs. So there's two ways of doing it. You can put our code in line. Let's see. And inline code goes like this. You go to the be very careful. That's a little prime, a little tick mark looking like that. You put in R, and then you put any equation you want, and it will calculate it and put that into that line. So let's see. Sine of 2. I don't know why I said that. Because why not? Okay, let's go see what that does. If I knit it, my favorite number is, notice it does a calculation. So you can actually have your document do calculations and immediately insert the answer into the text. The other way is to make a chunk. That's, you do 3 primes there and another 3 primes. You can put as many chunks in your code, and you can put text between chunks or whatever. But you do 3 things, an R, put here, and notice there's that gray area. And then you just write our code. So I can do things like X is a column. It's going to be a vector with these numbers in it. Let's see what it looks like. I'll put a space. That's just a comment. That's I can do calculations on it. That'll take the sign of everything in that vector. I can create new values. I can take like 3 times x plus the square of all the numbers in there, and by just typing it, I'm going to see what's in it. Okay, and that'll do it for me. Let's see these calculations. If I hit that, it's going to run that chunk also. Notice there it is. There's code. There's the output. Code, output. Code, output. Really nice. Oh, I can even make a plot. I'll make it solid dots, which is point character equal 19. Take a look at that too. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. There's our function, x versus y. What else can we do? Okay. I'll do one last little thing. I'll do a. Let's see. Will a stat equation be enough? Oh, I forgot something. Okay, so oftentimes to organize your text, you'll want to put headers. And how a header works is, this is outside chunks. So what this means is how bold it is. If you put 1, it's a super big type, and it gets smaller and smaller depending on how many of these you put. So if I put here, I'm going to get kind of a small header. So that's the title. I can put another one. I'll put only 3. It's going to be a bigger title. Whatever type name I want. Here's just 2. Okay, let's run that. All right, so let's go to the top. There's the title. This is the title. There's some text. Here's a larger title and an even larger title, so or header. So that's a nice way of organizing. You know, you basically say this is a section, this is a section, and so on. How about one last thing? I'll do one more chunk. How about a chunk down here? I'll type some R code. Let's create some random numbers. Those are random normals. We'll make 50 of them. Oh, let's see. With a mean of, notice that right here it gives you some hints by showing what the arguments are. So I'll make a mean of 0 and standard deviation of 2. Oops, mean. There we go. Okay, and I can calculate a lot of things. I can take the average of all that data, of that data set. I can take the variance of it. Makes your life easy calculating. I can take the standard deviation, take the median of it. I can get the maximum of it. I can get the minimum of it. Or there's this thing summary, which will give me a lot of information about it. And finally, I can make a histogram of it. So let's see what all those look like. Oops, I have to close it up. There we go. So this is a chunk also. When I hit this, I knit it. It's going to be, let's go to the top. There's my title, some text. None of this has changed because I haven't changed anything. I go through all here. Now, I go here. One last thing. Here's the new one. NN, it's going to create a bunch of random normals, 50 of them, with mean 0 and standard deviation 2. It put those numbers in there, and then it takes their mean. There it is. Takes their variance, standard deviation, their median, the largest and smallest values. Summary actually gives the minimum, first quartile, median, mean, third quartile, and max. And finally, a histogram. Here's what the histogram of that data looks like. And that's it. You know, one last thing I'm going to show you. I was going to stop right here. But, you know, sometimes there's a bunch of little commands you can put right here. You can change the size of your plots. So I can like say something like fig height's 5 and figure width is 4. And maybe that will, oh, let's make it smaller. Height is 3 inches, width is 4 inches. Okay, that adjusts the size of the plot that are output. Okay, and like usual, if I want, I can hit open in browser. This is what it would look like if I put it in a web page. And I can go up to File, Export as PDF, and if I save, it's going to say, do you want to replace? Yeah. This essentially creates a PDF that looks like this also. Okay. I think that's all I'm going to show you for now. You'll see more later, but it's really easy. I mean, the minimum you can do is just cut and paste your R code into a chunk and then add whatever text you want to write to remind you what you did. So, all right. Well, thanks.